Look at those eyes. Say hello, everyone. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about all of my 5-star reads throughout the past year or so. I have a large selection of books. One day I could be reading a World War II historical fiction book, and the next day I could be reading a spicy romance. So it's a little bit of everything and in between. If you guys like talking books, or you like travel vlogs and daily vlogs and just a little bit of everything, then this channel is for you, and I would absolutely love to have you guys, so please consider subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you never miss a notification. I post every single Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today actually feels like fall weather compared to what we've been having here in Michigan. It's like 68 and a little bit of wind, so I have my cozy drink right here. Also needed another coffee today because I am super tired. I think I slept a little too much. So grab a cozy drink and let's talk 5-star reads. So first and foremost, I feel like this book is my Roman Empire. I think about it all the time, and I read this definitely over a year ago. This is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I actually have the entire off-campus series, but this is a series that I could reread over and over again. It is a hockey, spicy romance. I am obsessed with the characters, and I still think till this day that Garrett Graham is my #1 book boyfriend. I absolutely love them. I heard there's also a little spin-off series, and I have read a couple of the Briar U series as well, which is another part of it. And I just love them all. I like to reread them like every single fall, so I'm probably going to start reading the ones that I haven't read yet from the Briar U series, just because it takes place on a college campus, and it just gives me all the fall vibes, and I just absolutely love them. I love every single one of the characters, and like I said, I think about these books every single day, and I think Elle Kennedy is definitely one of my favorite authors. Another book that I have talked about before, this is the book that started it all for me. It's what got me into reading, and I am just so obsessed. This is called The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer. It is a historical fiction. It's heartbreaking. It's just the perfect love story, and I don't have anything bad to say about this book, and this is a book that I will accept zero criticism on. I actually gave this book to my mom too, who's not a really big reader, but she absolutely enjoyed this book and ate it up just like I did. It is so good. There's also a little twist at the end, and it's perfect. It's everything that will hold your attention and that you would love in a book. Highly recommend. I always recommend this book. Also, look how cute this mug is. It's Hello Kitty in like different zodiac signs. So cute. Look at my little fall boy. Look at those eyes. Say hello, everyone. Okay, the next 5-star read that I have, I'm not going to talk too much about this because I'm sure we all either have read it or know what it's about, but this is Fourth Wing. Again, another book that I think about actually daily. I have merch from this book. I am so obsessed. I definitely, maybe unpopular opinion, I do like these books better than ACOTAR. I don't know why, it just made me feel more than ACOTAR made me feel, and I am obsessed with these characters. It is a romantasy, so you get like dragons and romance and spiciness, and it's just a great story. I fell in love with this one and Iron Flame, and I am so excited for the 3rd book to come out pretty soon. I know I'm gonna love it just as much. Absolutely loved this. Next, I have a book that I feel like is not talked about that much, and I know we all have like a love-hate relationship with Colleen Hoover. I don't have anything bad to say about Colleen Hoover. I just feel like there are books that are better than hers, but again, if you're starting into reading, they are the perfect books to like get you going and get you into the book world. So this is one of the books that from Colleen Hoover I feel like isn't talked about a lot, but I gave it 5 stars and I absolutely loved it. That is Maybe Someday. This just had such a sweet story. I loved the recognition in it, and I fell in love with it. The characters were both great. I read this super fast, and it's definitely a book that I would pick up again. It is a spicy romance as well, but also a really touching story, and I really, really liked it. Next, I have a second chance romance. This is Love in Other Words. First of all, the cover is so beautiful, and I love this book so much. This follows Macy and Elliot, and things happened in their past. I'm not going to give too much away, but they get a second chance at love, and I just absolutely loved this. Alia is like the sweetest person in the entire world, and it just really makes you fall in love with him and her, and they're just a really good book couple. I loved it. It's such a sweet story. It made me feel a ton of things, and it's definitely a book that I would reread over and over again. For me, a 5-star book is definitely something that I think about after I've read it. It's not something that just goes to the back of my mind and I don't think about it again. It's a book that I would pick up again and enjoy it just as much the second time around. Then I have Taste by Melanie Harlow. This is a super spicy romance. It is a small town romance, and it takes place in my home state, which is Michigan. And this author, fun fact, is actually my cousin, and I loved all of her writing in this. I've read a couple of her books and I loved all of them. I can't wait to read more. I just really fell in love with Gianni, the male main character in this, and again, definitely one of my favorite book boyfriends, and I absolutely love this book. I ate it up. This is also part of a series. I've read the first 2, and I can't wait to continue reading the rest of the series. The next book I have is definitely one that is like 50-50, I feel like, on BookTok. A lot of people hate it, and a lot of people love it. I, however, absolutely loved it. This is another hockey romance. This is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. It is a thicker romance book, but I don't mind a thicker romance book if it keeps my attention, and this one definitely did. It is, again, a spicy romance. Loved the characters, and it just really kept my attention the whole time, so I didn't mind reading like 550 plus pages of a romance story. That's not for everyone. I loved it. 5 stars. I also read Wildfire, which is the next book in this series, and I did like it. I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but it wasn't quite up to par with this one. I absolutely loved this one. Then I have Twisted Games by Anna Huang. I have read the entire Twisted series, but this one was my absolute favorite, along with the last one, Twisted Lies. This is kind of like Princess Diaries meets spicy romance. It takes after a group of friends, but I absolutely love these characters in this one. This story follows Bridget and Rise. Bridget is actually a princess, and Rise starts off as her bodyguard, and it's just a sweet but spicy romance. Again, another thicker one, but it kept my attention the entire time, and I absolutely loved how the story played out. 5 stars. I'm actually super happy that I continued this series after reading Twisted Love, because I did not love Twisted Love, which is the first book in the series, but I kept going and it just gets so much better. Another book that I will put on the screen, because I actually read it on my Kindle, which I finally did get a Kindle. I was so against it because I do love having a paperback, but after spending so much money on books, I decided a lot of the books that I want to read are on Kindle Unlimited, and there's a great selection on there. So why not just save some money and get a Kindle as well? But one of the books that I read that I gave 5 stars recently on my Kindle was The Magic of C-Class. I've actually never heard of this book being talked about. I'm not sure why, but I found it when I was just scrolling on Kindle Unlimited one night, and I decided to read it because it sounded like summery and like a cute little love story, and it definitely lived up to what it sounded like when I read the description on it. It actually made me cry, and books usually do not make me shed a tear, but it was such a sweet story, and I loved the characters. At first, the female main character kind of bugged me, but as the story went on, it definitely was like such a cute story. So definitely 5 stars for that one because it made me cry, and I would recommend it. Alright, lastly, probably my favorite, Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score. I am obsessed with these books. Now, these are another book that get a lot of hate because they are thick boys. These are very large books. The third one I actually read on my Kindle, which is my favorite, but that one's even larger. So these are a very spicy but small town romance, which is like my favorite type of romance. I love like a small town where you just feel like you're part of like the circle of the main characters, and these books are witty, they're funny, they actually make me laugh when I'm reading them, and I love all the love stories, and all the characters are just perfect. I love the little town of Knock 'Em Out, and this one follows Knox and Naomi. This one follows Lena and Nash. Lena is my favorite character besides Lucian in the third book, and the third book follows Lucian and Sloane, and they're just all amazing. These are such a spicy, great romance book. Highly, highly recommend if you can get over the fact that they are thick, but once you're reading them, they keep your attention the entire time and they're so fun to read. That's it for my 5-star reads. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave any recommendations down below in the comments that you guys think are 5-star reads in your opinion. I would love to read them. I'm always open to new book suggestions, and let me know if you guys enjoy these book videos. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon.